Ένα αρχαίο έθνος με ταραχώδη ιστορία, σε μια δύσκολη γειτονιά, ελπίζει για χρόνια σε ξένες επενδύσεις που θα το βγάλουν από την οικονομική του μιζέρια. Είναι το μοτίβο της πρόσφατης ιστορίας της Ελλάδας. Όχι πολύ μακριά, στην άλλη άκρη του Εύξηνου Πόντου συγκεκριμένα, υπάρχει ένα άλλο αρχαίο έθνος. Η δημοκρατία της Γεωργίας καταλαμβάνει το έδαφος της αρχαίας Κολχίδας, του μυθικού προορισμού των Αργοναυτών. Η Γεωργία βρίσκεται επίσης σε μια δύσκολη γεωπολιτική γειτονιά. Και εκείνη αναζητά επενδύσεις για να πετύχει ευημερία για τα 4,5 εκατομμύρια του πληθυσμού της. Η διαφορά με την Ελλάδα είναι ότι το πετυχαίνει. Το νέο Χρυσόμαλλο Δέρας που προσελκύει επενδυτές από όλο τον κόσμο είναι οι μεταρρυθμίσεις και η Γεωργία έχει πέσει σε αυτές με τα μούτρα. Μόνο τα τελευταία 15 χρόνια η δημοκρατία της Γεωργίας άφησε πίσω της κρίσεις, μια επανάσταση και ένα πόλεμο με μια υπερδύναμη. Τώρα έχει κηρύξει τον πόλεμο στη γραφειοκρατία και τη διαφθορά. Ξανασυστήνεται στον πλανήτη ως υπόδειγμα ανοιχτής οικονομίας και γίνεται ελκυστικός προορισμός για επενδύσεις. Οι βαθμολογίες της παγκόσμιας κατατάξης και έρευνες, διαβατήριο για έλευση κεφαλαίων, βελτιώνονται ραγδαία. Στην ετήσια κατάταξη της Παγκόσμιας Τράπεζας για την επιχειρηματικότητα Doing Business, η Γεωργία είναι 16η στον κόσμο, μεταξύ 190 χωρών. Μια θέση μπροστά από τη Γερμανία και 45 θέσεις μπροστά από την Ελλάδα που βρίσκεται στη θέση νούμερο 61. Η Γεωργία είναι 8η στον κόσμο ως προς το πόσο εύκολη είναι η έναρξη μιας επιχείρησης. Η Ελλάδα ακολουθεί με απόσταση, στη θέση νούμερο 56. Είναι ακόμη νούμερο 3 ως προς την κατοχύρωση ακίνητης περιουσίας. Η Ελλάδα παραμένει κολλημένη στην 141η θέση. Τι τρέχει με τη Γεωργία? Αναζητήσαμε κάποιες απαντήσεις από τον πρέσβη της Δημοκρατίας της Γεωργίας στην Ελλάδα, τον Ιώσεπ Νανοπασβίλη.
Georgia seems to be the poster child for reforms, but it hasn't always been like that, has it?
I agree. It's been very difficult times in the recent history of Georgia. We've passed through very challenging periods. We are confronted by internal and external instability, economic crisis. Yet, as we follow the path of reforms we have chosen a few decades ago, eventually we ended up as a regional leader in many spheres.
At some point you realized that you needed investment, but there was, the money was nowhere to be found locally. How did you go about it? How did you start to reach out for investment at the beginning?
Well, I believe that this is a bit complex issue comprising many elements. First of all, country had to ensure fundamental freedoms and rights are observed and protected at all levels. This is the core. Freedom is the core of Georgia's activity, be it at governmental level or in the Georgian society. So first and foremost, we ensure that there is an equal playground for all actors, economic actors, local and foreigners. And of course, this line of freedom you can feel in each and every sphere of economy of Georgia, be it tax system, be it investment climate, hospitality, judiciary, etc., etc. So freedom is the main achievement what we can be proud of on this way.
At the same time, you tried to join international organizations and have trade agreements with pretty much most of the countries in the world. Was the easy path?
Of course it was not. It was very difficult because we had to, on the one hand, we should have met quite strict and sophisticated criteria of membership to those organizations, and on the other hand, we were confronted by external I would say, disagreements which, with regards to the path Georgia has chosen. But still, I think that we succeeded on both, more or less on both fronts. We have a very solid position, a strong position, because we are now, since 2014, we are in association agreement with the European Union, and we also enjoy free and comprehensive trade agreement with the European Union. And of course, we have quite successful results towards North Atlantic Alliance membership. So this or another way, we have established ourselves as a reliable and trustful partner for international community.
Ο δείκτης οικονομικής ελευθερίας, μια κατάταξη που συντάσσει το Heritage Foundation, είναι ενδεικτικός της ταχύτητας των μεταρρυθμίσεων. Μεταξύ 186 χωρών η Γεωργία ήταν στη θέση 99 το 2005, στη θέση 23 πέρυσι και στη θέση 16 φέτος. Η Ελλάδα είναι πολύ πίσω, στη θέση 127. Στα επιμέρους κριτήρια οικονομικής ελευθερίας, η χώρα είχε επιδόσεις που τη φέρνουν μπροστά από πολλές δυτικοευρωπαϊκές χώρες.
At the same time, it seems that you started by trying to satisfy some benchmarks that would very quickly make Georgia look like an attractive investment destination. I'm talking about global rankings in competitiveness, in easiness of doing business, in entrepreneurship. Can you tell us a little bit about these rankings and how did you manage to make such big gains in such a short time?
First of all, let me tell you that achieving benchmarks is not an ultimate goal per se. The results have come with the reforms we implemented. The main benchmark for Georgia is to become a full-fledged member of the family of the European states. And on this way, of course, we had to meet certain criteria and to establish European standards in many areas of the Georgian economy. And through that reforms, we have become quite successful in world rankings as well. Just this morning, I learned that in just one figure, in the economic freedom of 2017 survey by Heritage Foundation, Georgia scored 13th place in 180 states in the world. And it has improvement by 10 points. It is between Luxembourg and UK. So you can imagine that that's quite a significant achievement for my country.
So this improvement in economic freedom, what does it break down to in practical terms?
It breaks down to a few elements. This is independent judiciary in Georgia, including alternative dispute settlement mechanisms for business disputes. This is protection and observation of basic freedoms and fundamental rights, including property rights, non-interference of government in business. Government gets involved only in those areas where business lacks efficiency or demonstrates weakness. And government's interference is limited to stimulating in those areas which need further improvement.
Το φορολογικό σύστημα της Γεωργίας είναι τόσο απλό που μπορεί να αποτυπωθεί πάνω σε ένα κουτί σπίρτα. Εταιρικός φόρος 15%, φόρος εισοδήματος 20%, φόρος προστιθέμενης αξίας 18%, φόρος ακίνητης περιουσίας 1%. Οι συντελεστές είναι σταθεροί, ισχύουν για όλους. Δεν υπάρχουν κρυφές χρεώσεις, ούτε υπέρογες εισφορές. Ενώ συνολικά, το φορολογικό καθεστώς είναι σταθερό, είναι συνταγματικά κατοχυρωμένο.
Let's talk a little bit about the tax regime. I was very impressed. It was very short.
The simple and business-friendly tax system is a key to Georgian success, economic success. We have reduced taxes in last decades from 12 to only 6.
6 taxes.
6 taxes. This is a very flexible and very friendly tax system guaranteed by the Constitution of Georgia, meaning that no tax increase is possible without nationwide referendum. And it's hard to imagine that anyone will vote for increase of taxes. So it's in the hands of people. We also try to further liberalize and make more friendly tax system. Since 1st January 2017, no tax is imposed on reinvested capital. Only those funds which are distributed as profits are taxed. On top of that, we have free industrial zones, where those enterprises which are aimed at export are fully exempted from taxes. We have tax exemption initiatives in tourism, in different other areas. So tax system is very attractive for local and foreign investors.
Can you give us some rates as a base of comparison?
I can do that. We have VAT 18%, profit tax 15%, income tax 20%.
And these are flat rates?
Yes, no social tax, no capital gains tax, and other tax.
How do the citizens interact with the tax authorities in Georgia?
This is a very important question, and this has a few elements again I have to combine. And let me start by saying that Georgia scores first place among 19 countries of Eastern Europe and Central Asia in anti-corruption index. In 2016, only 4% of Georgians admitted that they had some kind of business with bribes or illegal interaction with officials. And this issue is directly connected to the modernizing of public administration system fully. The system has been digitalized. The system, in a way, prevents direct contact between the citizen and the civil servant. And, of course, that simplifies procedures for citizens a lot. We have a purely Georgian initiative, which is a justice house concept, where citizens of Georgia can go and get at one place almost 400 services, starting from getting passport and IDs and different certificates, finishing with registration of the land, company registration, etc., etc. On top of that, we are working now on an initiative to create a similar business house where business can meet all representatives of relevant ministries, not to run from one ministry to another, not to go from one agency to another. So when business person goes there, he can get all services at one place. Tax paying is part of that digitalized system, what can be done online as well. So that is the way how we manage to give relief to bureaucratic burden, and to make business worry about the profit, not about the bureaucracy.
Did it work in terms of state income?
It did. Georgian budget increased almost 10 times since early 2000s. So it clearly did. It clearly did, but not only for locals, but for foreigners as well. They find it very, very interesting and entertaining, even, because it's quite a modern system. And we extended our hand of cooperation to our Greek friends as well. And I know that there are some Georgian initiatives which Greek authorities are going to share and to continue working on exchange of best practices between our countries.
Το κατακεφαλήν εισόδημα στη Γεωργία από $1.800 το χρόνο το 2006 υπερδιπλασιάστηκε σε μία δεκαετία στα $3.800. Η ανεργία από 16,3% το 2010 υποχώρησε στο 12% σε 5 χρόνια. Οι προοπτικές διαγράφονται θετικές.
In terms of growth, what was the performance of the Georgian economy in the last few years?
Georgian economy had ups and downs, but mainly we kept, and we still are keeping the growth. There were times when the economic growth was double-digit in the late 2000s. For the moment, luckily, the forecast of the World Bank for Georgian economic growth is one of the highest in the region, close to 4.5% annual growth, which is quite good.
What are the most dynamic sectors of the economy right now?
Georgian economy stands on two main pillars. This first is liberalized trade with all neighbors, European Union, EFTA countries. Now we have concluded a very focused free trade with China as well. And we also have some target markets like United States and Canada, but there are still work to do. And imagine that whatever is produced in Georgia at a very low cost with highly educated workforce can be exported to almost 1 billion marketplace, freely, without customs duties. On the other hand, Georgia is a very active participant of regional infrastructure and energy projects. Whatever crosses the region from north to south and from east to west or west to east has to cross Georgia. So Georgia tries to utilize its important geostrategic location as a regional hub, like Greece do. Georgia is a part of consortiums related to Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway, which is connection of parts, Eurasian parts, starting from China, Central Asia, through Caspian Sea, and to Europe, as well as any transportation of goods or hydrocarbons from north to south, and from south to north. So this is two main things we can offer. First, a reliable, trustful, flexible, friendly business environment for business activities for wider region around Georgia, in Georgia and around. And second, a trustful and reliable partner in multinational large-scale projects. I want to take this opportunity and just to mention one of the projects. This is a currently biggest investment project in Georgia. This is a Panamax type deep seaport construction on the shore of the Black Sea, which is called Anaklia Seaport. And I'm glad to say that there is a result of a partnership between Georgian and American consortiums. And once this port is operational, it will become a key element, I'm sure, in the revitalized Silk Road from China to Europe.
Το 2006 επισκέφτηκαν τη χώρα 1 εκατομμύριο άνθρωποι. Το 2015 οι διεθνείς αφίξεις άγγιξαν τα 6 εκατομμύρια. Κάφκασος και Μαύρη Θάλασσα, μπάνια και ορεινός τουρισμός είναι τα δυνατά χαρτιά της χώρας. Το άνοιγμα της χώρας ζωντάνεψε τις πόλεις της. Η μοντέρνα αρχιτεκτονική μπολιάζει παραδοσιακές γειτονιές. Οι νέοι γεμίζουν τους δρόμους.
Tourism. You had an explosive growth of international tourists. However, most of them from neighboring countries. What are the incentives that you're using to attract tourism investments?
Tourism is our key sector of economy, and we have much to learn from our Greek friends in that. Therefore, I encourage Greek companies and operators to go to Georgia to see the opportunities there. I'm glad to see that a few prominent Greek companies are already on Georgian market there. But we try to further make more friendly this sector. Despite the fact that the last year we had more than 6 million visitors, given Georgia's population of close to 4 million. I will give you just one incentive which might be interesting for you, and will give you a flavor where in business-friendly terms we are moving towards. There is a law of Georgia which says that if you invest in Georgia something around €1 million in hotel building, you are exempted from profit tax for 15 years.
15 years.
For 15 years. There are some other incentives too. If you build a hotel which has more than 80 beds, you get free casino license, etc., etc. So, but this is not the end. You are right. We mainly attract visitors from the neighborhood, but we try to make more attractive for more from remote countries, for the visitors from more remote countries. Namely, we make a special focus now on winter resorts. And we have quite interesting experts and investors from all over the world, including Austria and traditional winter resort expert countries. So I think that the future is very bright for Georgian tourism, and we will do our best to have significant accomplishments there as well.
Ο Κάφκασος δεν προσφέρει μόνο τοπία. Οι πλαγιές της ψηλότερης οροσειράς της Ευρώπης δεν φιλοξενούν μόνο τα πιο αρχαία ινοπαραγωγικά αμπέλια. Κατεβάζουν και νερό. Πολύ νερό. Ικανό να ηλεκτροδοτήσει την ευρύτερη γειτονιά.
On the energy sector, you are a hub for foreign flows through the soil of Georgia, but you have a very important potential for hydropower.
Absolutely, and here this is a sphere where I would like to encourage Greek entrepreneurs and businessmen to take a very close look. I will just name two projects. This is K-Waters, South Korean giant, which invested over $1 billion in Neskra hydropower plant construction. And recently we have another project approved. Green Energy Norway will invest close to $800 million in one hydropower plant only. Why I'm saying that? Because Georgia has biggest hydropower plant potential in the world. I think we are second in rank. And currently we only utilize 20%. On top of that, we have quite well-developed connection grids with all neighborhoods. So it's very easy to produce electricity in Georgia and sell it to other markets. So this is the area we have special focus. And the Ministry of Energy works very hard to offer new investment projects to interested parties. If you just go to the website of the Ministry of Energy of Georgia, you can simply find dozens of well-designed, ready investment initiatives to take a look and to get involved.
We're talking about investments. What is the situation with credit supply in Georgia?
First of all, I have to say that throughout years, the foreign direct investment has been increasing in my country, and we have forecast that it will keep increasing in coming years. On the other hand, government created few powerful mechanisms to stimulate local and foreign businessmen and to attract more credits, as you said, into the country. We have partnership fund, which is 100% state-owned fund with a budget of $1 billion. And we have co-investment fund, purely private fund with the budget of $6 billion. Both funds are ready to make co-partnership and co-investing with local or foreign investor in case there is a real interest one or another sphere. Through those initiatives, the Georgian side shares market risk, it shares responsibility, and it makes investors to feel that they are they are not alone. They can easily find partner if they have a promising project or they are serious with their plans to engage in one or another project. So I think that's a very good, and I can tell you that those funds heavily invested in co-partnerships, in co-funding, in spheres of real estate, energy, agricultural projects, and many foreign firms are very happy to have business with those funds. Apart from funds, which I mentioned, there are few programs, governmental funded programs in Georgia, through which a business person or business company can get a business loan in Georgia through foreign and local banks, because there are 12 banks which are participants of those programs, a business loan for only 1% annual interest rate. I think this is also a very attractive component which businessmen have to take into account.
On the political front, you have made, as you said, big steps of integration with the European Union. What are the next steps?
Now we are in a process of political association and economic integration with the European Union. In economic terms, there is one remaining freedom we have to finalize. This is freedom of movement, and we hope that by the end of March we have visa-free with all Schengen member states in Europe. Therefore, we have association agenda now. In general, we call that. We have to fulfill this agenda. And of course, the eventual goal of Georgia is to become a full member of the European Union and Euro-Atlantic Alliance.
Ελλάδα και Γεωργία γιορτάζουν φέτος 25 χρόνια επίσημων διπλωματικών επαφών.
How are the relations between Greece and Georgia today? We know that the two people have been close for thousands of years, but what is the state of play today?
Let me start by saying that this is both privilege and pleasure for me to serve in this country, because I found here all answers on all questions why Georgians and Greek people are so close, mentally, spiritually, with characters, with the past, with the culture, religion, etc., etc. That explained a lot when I arrived here. I believe that currently we are on the right track. We have quite intensive exchange of visits. We try, both countries, to get closer. Greek is a very prominent supporter of Georgia on European scene, but yet I believe that much can be done, especially in the economic sphere. And now our focus is on economy, to make Georgian and Greek business talk, because currently they are not talking, and we have to create all avenues for their conversation. And I think that we have all tools at our disposal to establish mutually beneficial and profitable partnerships, including in the economic sphere. So I think that brighter days are ahead of us.